Welcome to Vinyl Verdict. Today we're talking about not records by people that are making human music.
I'm Bell.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Plouffe. Today we're actually talking about one of my favorite hip-hop EPs, Gift of Gab's Rejoice. Rappers are rapping again. It's only got 6 tracks, but at least in my opinion, they're all bangers. And for those of you who don't know, Timothy Jerome Parker, a.k.a. Gift of Gab, is a West Coast Bay Area rapper born in 1970, and some of you might recognize him better as part of the late 90s and early 2000s duo Blackalicious. Unfortunately, last year on June 18th, the Gab man passed away after struggling with kidney failure, but he left behind a beautiful collection of albums, both solo and with Chief Excel, the other half of Blackalicious. Not only does Gab have a ton of guest appearances, something that's pretty common in hip-hop, but on his own releases, he's always featured a lot of other artists. Some of the more notable names, at least to me, being Ben Harper, Charlie Tuna, Zach De La Rocha, Del the Funky Homo Sapien, Brother Ali, and the two legends who show up on today's album, Afro and R.A. the Rugged Man. I picked this album over his posthumous release, Finding Inspiration Somehow, partly because I think these are some of his strongest tracks, but also because Freedom Form Flowing is just one of the best rap tracks of all time, in my opinion. It's also probably his most famous track, at least according to YouTube plays, as that one has like 12 million views, while most of his other... Yeah, it's actually like pretty popular.
Other than the Alphabet song.
But then, sorry?
Other than the Alphabet song, which has got to be the most famous. Shout out Daniel Radcliffe. Alphabet Aerobics. Alphabet Aerobics is the song.
Yeah, most of his other tracks, they only get like 12,000 to like 50,000 views, something like that. He's not like the most famous artist. I actually didn't even really get into him until like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably like around the time Freedom Form Flowing came out. I think I saw that. I was a big R.A. the Rugged Man fan at the time, and it just kind of blew me away, and I was like, wow, I gotta own this.
I actually enjoy the posthumous release a little bit more than this album.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I think Finding Inspiration Somehow is pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like it. I think it's short and sweet.
Yeah, definitely short.
Yeah, it's an EP for sure. It's not a long play. Even on the record itself, the last 2 tracks on side B are basically just remixes.
Sure.
To just kind of fill out the rest of the wax. My only real problem with it is that as an EP, it doesn't feel super cohesive. I find that half the songs are like kind of your raw like late 90s, early 2000s hip hop, and then a couple of them are more like chill West Coast stuff.
Yeah.
But each one of them absolutely like is great in my opinion, at least. What'd you guys think? Did you like it? I love this album. I don't know, it's short. But
that was fine. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna tell you it's like my favorite hip hop album,
sure,
rap album. But I did enjoy like the backing tracks on it, like what he's rapping over is actually really good. It reminds me of late 90s hip hop.
Yeah.
Or like mid 90s hip hop even.
Yeah.
I did like the guest appearances. I do like R.A. the Rugged Man.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
I hadn't really heard of Afro much until this. He's kind of a young up-and-coming guy who... Well, not young anymore. I think he's like 24 or something by this point, but this was a 2017 release, right? So he was pretty young at that time, and he's a little different in that he's not like following the mumble rap trend at all. He's a younger guy doing like older kind of hip-hop.
Which is unusual. You know?
Yeah.
So I like the album, or I guess the EP. I guess I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell you it's my favorite one, but I thought it is a good example of some of his work.
Yeah.
But I like the posthumous release a little bit better. Finding Inspiration Somehow. Yeah.
They do share a track.
Yes, I did notice that. Yeah. But I don't know if it sounds better on Finding Inspiration Somehow or on this one. It's a little different.
Yeah, they might have changed the remix. I can't remember who does each one, or even if they changed anyone, or if they changed anything for the posthumous release. But yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Gift of Gab is definitely a name like Gorillaz, where I want to put the in front of it. So the Gift of Gab, especially because like it is a term.
Yeah.
He's got the gift I'd never heard of Gift of Gab before, and the first thing, well, other than Alphabet Aerobics, because again that video went viral and has like 100 million views. But the first thing I noticed, awful album art across the board. Every one of his albums has horrendous album art. So I was like, oh, okay. And I started listening, and again, very mid-90s, late 90s rap. And I was like, oh, it came out in 2018.
Yeah,
like,
2017,
what
I
I
think,
expected. I am very sad that he passed away. It seems very, very talented, and it's a shame to discover an artist when they've passed, especially when it's so recently. I did not like this album.
No? You didn't like it?
No.
What didn't you like about it?
I was tired by the end. Like
Really?
that amount of speed and trying to pay attention, it felt like I was being bombarded. And
Totally.
like by the end 2 songs, I was like, oh God. Like my favorite tracks are the last 2, and it was because it was just like, finally I have a second to just like listen to the music and not feel like I'm in school, because it's just like for like 10 minutes of the album or whatever, of this like 15-minute album or 20-minute album.
It's 21 minutes and
it's
7 seconds long.
Yeah.
And 15 minutes of it is pretty much half an hour of music.
Oh, man.
So it was too much for me. But he did seem extremely talented. And like I
Sure.
said, I didn't listen to the other albums, but I probably would, because those last 2 were very strong to me.
Yeah,
I did really like those.
that's cool.
Yeah, I listened to it on my couch while I was waiting for laundry to finish. And this album is exactly as long as a cycle on my laundry, my washing machine. So
That is a fun fact.
so, we got a spin cycle in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, you spun 2 things at once.
Oh.
Yeah. Stacks of wax, stacks of undies.
I actually really like the pacing and everything. For me, it keeps me hyped like the whole way through, even though it's only, and then especially because it's only like 6 tracks, 8 on the record. If you listen to the last 2, I usually just take it off at that point.
You put this on while Jake and I were here that one time when you made us dinner.
Quite possibly, yeah.
I remember hearing it. I was just like, I've heard this album before somewhere, and it's like, I know I didn't own it.
Yeah. I actually really enjoy listening to like really technical, fast rapping that's just like
The cadence, yes.
I don't even know in this case, because like I ended up looking at the lyrics for all these songs, and we're gonna go song by song after this.
Yes.
But
Spotify hopefully has them in it.
yeah, I didn't even feel like a lot of the lyrics made sense in some of the faster songs.
Oh, really?
Like again, we'll go into detail, but I just was like, I don't understand what is trying to be told here necessarily. So I was just lost.
There is a genius.com entry for a couple of the songs.
Yeah, exactly. But there's some I couldn't find lyrics for. Like,
Yeah,
I could not
some
find
of them.
online.
Yeah, just you have no idea what. Yeah, and Spotify has trouble keeping up. The if you put the lyrics up while the songs are playing, it doesn't.
That's really
it doesn't
funny.
go fast enough, and it's just like, whoa, hold on, you're 3 bars behind, buddy. Come on. Let's step it up, Spotify.
We've learned that Spotify cannot rap.
No.
Confirmed.
Wow. I'm honestly a little surprised. I actually
That's 2 albums in a row, Plouffe.
I
You're
know.
not picking anymore.
I know. That's okay. I'll just pick ones I know you guys will like. That should be
No,
easy
this is
enough.
good because again, I did really enjoy some songs.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that he really liked Crime of the Century, which I thought he would hate.
Yeah.
I thought Bell would hate that album.
Yeah, because it's so spacey and like long-winded, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's good, but
I
It's a banger.
I find it very fascinating. I don't know why, but because maybe it's because Bell doesn't listen to classic rock, and he tells us that every time,
That's
all the
true.
time.
Yeah, I do like rap.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
I just have my taste already set versus I don't have a taste for
Oh,
classic rock.
you have a specific type of rap that you're into.
yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Sure, I get behind
Versus
that.
classic rock, I have no
Yeah, you don't have any
idea.
reverence or
Yes.
yeah.
If it's not Hotel California, I haven't heard it.
That's kind of my problem with classic rock because I've heard so much of it. Is it's like, oh, okay, it's another classic rock album. I've kind of like heard this all before
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, which is fair. Like because there's a lot of similarities in a lot of classic rock albums, and some of it is callbacks to like early blues albums, right?
Yeah.
And then with this particular album, I mean, there's lots of callbacks to early rap or like mid '90s rap or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the speed, you're right. It's sort of like, remember when Eminem did that Rap God song?
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, what the is Eminem talking about? And like, but like he's like,
30 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, 15.
I love all that because I
It's very technical.
It's very technical, and I kind of appreciate that. I had a few friends who like we all wanted growing up. We were listening to a ton of hip hop, and we had that whole like childhood dream of wanting to start some hip hop group and stuff. Of course, never went anywhere
because
we're all garbage.
You're all up in the Northwest Territories, and you had nothing better to do.
Oh, well, that too. Yeah, pretty much. But so I can appreciate a lot of his just rhyming and keeping rhythm and cadence, like especially on like Bowling Pins starts off with that really monorhythmic
first
like
track, yeah.
like a all the way down the first stanza. One of the good things that I like on the entire album as a whole is mostly just like his choruses in every song. So even if all of the like every other bar is crazy fast, sure, all the choruses I found really strong, and it kind of helps pace it out for me better so I don't feel overwhelmed by the end of it.
Yeah.
Because he'll hit you with a ton of bars really quick, but then he'll go on to do something like how does the Bowling Pin score? It's like set him up, knock him down like bowling pins. Like I'm missing the first part of that, but I've always found that those parts of it are really strong, and it really kind of just brings it back for that moment, so I don't feel just bombarded, I guess. What was your least favorite track on the album?
Well, let's do one last listen. I
Sure.
think this is short enough.
Yeah.
This is short enough. We could probably just go through all the songs because
Totally.
There's only 6.
Yeah,
so
there's only 6.
Let's give it one last listen, and then let's talk track breakdown.
Cool.
Set them up S, I go in, I knock them down like bowling pins. Set them up S, I go in, I knock them down like bowling pins. Abominable, phenomenal flow. To sonically take you where y'all wanna go. Abominable, phenomenal flow. We losing in battle and problem.
What is the past, the millennium master, rising the surface, snatching your wifey's purses. I'm a little brother like Hakim. When I got a rhyme on a stage for a good amount of time, I'm grabbing the mic in a urgent, smashing it down.
It was a place I used to call home. I try to chase the energy, but now it's all gone. And only memories remain. I try to feel the feeling, but the city ain't the same. Just warm like a single Voltron. We are really the illuminated ones. Really, people tend to take the story as the story comes. When we can create a newer story, starting one city at a time. In alignment, the assignment is refinement, rising higher and higher.
Yeah, do you want to start us off with Bowling Pins?
Yeah, I really like Bowling Pins. It's, for me, kind of feels like a comeback song.
Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it... Why? Because he's dead now?
No, it's LL Cool J.
Oh, I've never heard that.
That's why I just stayed silent.
Oh, man.
It's like, that's a reference I don't understand.
Yeah, sorry, Jamie.
Don't call it comeback.
this
Call
time.
it a stay here. Still here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Basically.
nice.
Here.
Basically, yeah.
Call me Coolio.
Yeah. No, that's LL Cool J. Coolio's
Call me
different.
Bell Cool J.
Oh no.
Like I was just saying, it's really monorhythmic on the first track, and then into a chorus, and then into another monorhythmic section where it's just, I think he does a little bit of A-B, but it's mostly just A all the way down. And that impressed me because it's not always easy to just rhyme the same sound over and over and over again without using too many of the same phrases or words. And that one, I haven't looked up the lyrics for all of these, but that one I actually have looked up because I was like, oh, that's really like cool. And I really enjoyed the chorus. Like, I got to look it up because it's really, I love that chorus.
Yeah, I thought it was a good start to the album, and it made me really excited. And again,
Sure.
I didn't know the year, so I listened to it, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be good. When I looked at the lyrics, I liked it a little less because, again, I just didn't understand what he was trying to say. And I was like, oh, you're just saying words that kind of sound like each individual line kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And maybe because he was trying to keep the beat, it's really hard to separate the lines to see the story it's telling. But I did really like it, and I also really enjoyed the chorus.
Yeah.
It's really fun to listen to.
Sure, that's fair. Yeah.
He certainly hits you with quantity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at the lyrics on Plouffe's screen like right now, and he has a vertical monitor, and it's more than it is zoomed out far.
And it's pretty condensed. Yeah, it's just like, they call me Gab and a rap at the habit of tat tat. What savage is that at the average cat?
You can't copyright strike us. That is Plouffe.
Oh yeah, they can't copyright.
It sounds exactly like it. But that is Plouffe.
Wow.
But it just, I don't know, he's introducing himself and then he's talking about himself, and it just feels like a really good start of an album.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's not my favorite song on the whole thing, but yeah, I think it's one of the stronger tracks for sure, and a really good a really strong first track to the album. Then it goes into Abominable, I think.
Yeah.
Abominable. It starts off with that like talking or something too, right? He says like I don't know, like something about killing people or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's like
kill you.
exactly. It's like a Tyler the Creator Goblin intro.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
And then it goes into the Despicable Me 2 theme song. It just feels like a kid's movie. Like, I'm a bad guy walking, but like clearly not actually a bad guy because like all of his lyrics are very positive, and like I think he even called himself like a positive tip rapper. There's like some term he used for his rap style, but I just thought it was the cheesiest song. Oh my goodness. The only note I have is could be the theme song for Despicable Me or some animated movie.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I'd love it to be a theme song for something like that. They'd have to cut the start out, but otherwise, yeah, for sure. I think it's definitely kind of more of the same. It feels more of the same like the first album, where it's a lot of just like quick monorhythmic stuff. But I like that. I don't know.
Hey, if you like it, this album is for you. Let me tell you.
Now I've got no idea what third album I'm gonna pick.
This is a Plouffe album.
It's gonna.
Yeah, do you have any thoughts on either song, Jamie?
No.
Nice.
I thought they were fine.
they're fine.
I like the next track. I don't
Freedom
like
Form Flowing.
Gab Man. We'll get to that in a
Oh yeah, no.
So what are your thoughts on Freedom Form Flowing?
Yeah, the third.
I think it's the guest features are very good.
Yeah.
On it. I mean it certainly hits you with quantity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of words in that song.
Did you watch the music video?
No, I didn't.
Oh man.
I should have.
I didn't either.
So yeah, the music video is actually super cool. It's basically like all three of them dressed up in these robes with these like cardboard helmets on that are they're cardboard.
It's the album cover for the single.
Oh
with
yeah,
all of them standing there.
Yeah.
That album cover rocks.
They look
so
great.
they can make a cool album cover.
I
Why
know.
are they all bad? That one's so sick.
I know. I'll give you that. I actually, well, no, I kind of do like so I have two of his other albums. I've got Fourth Dimensional, Rocket Ships Going Up, and I've got oh god, I can't remember the second album I have, but Escape to Mars or something like that, and those are cheesy. Yeah, okay, they're not good at album covers.
No, Rat Race is okay, but it's just him standing there. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, this one's just him with like fireworks in the back, and he's rapping.
It looks like clip art. It's like the poster you'd see for a local community center rap show.
Yeah, legit. I love this track though. It feels really powerful. I think that Afro and RA both like crush it on their sets. Basically, each one comes in individually, and they have like backing tracks or backing vocals to like tell who it is, like here comes the Gift of Gab, and then now
retro.
Entering RA the Rugged Man. So they have like intros and stuff.
The only thing I didn't like about it is that they keep saying they repeat RA the Rugged Man like
4 times or something. Yeah,
it's more like 10 times.
And I'm not that excited for this guy I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's fair. I think for me it helped because like I've seen RA live. Like, he came here in like 2015 or something. It was a great set. Yeah, it was at Fortune. It was really fun. So I was like stoked to see him doing stuff. He's I like RA, but you got to have a taste for him. He's really vulgar and a lot of the time. And even on this one, he's like the only one mentioning dicks and stuff, which is very...
Yeah, I actually had noticed. I'm like, I like RA the Rugged Man's verse, though it is vulgar. The speed was impressive and the lyrics hit better for me. Because I
like
again,
his voice.
It did not... I was surprised this was the most listened to song.
Oh,
like,
really?
The beat is catchy, but it's also 4.5 minutes of the same beat.
Yes.
And it's not long. So I was just like, oh.
It is definitely a recycled beat.
Man, I don't mind that at all
It's
during
like
the
30
track,
seconds
though.
long.
I know, but I'm not paying attention to that in the song.
But I can't pay attention to the lyrics.
I'm paying attention to the
I
lyrics
can't.
the whole time. They're so cool.
I just sit with my eyes closed, like, studying them.
Actually how I listened to the album. I was sitting on my couch with my eyes closed, and I was just like trying to concentrate on it.
Sometimes it's not about like knowing every single lyric. It's about catching parts that you like and then repeated listenings and sort of...
That's fair.
Yeah.
But like if you've never heard the album before, you'd like to pick up on something.
Sure.
And they force you to do that because the beat is not interesting.
Sure.
Because I don't really pay attention to the lyrics in all the songs until I want to like learn on guitar or just want to sing along or whatever.
Yeah.
But because it's just... And that's as long as it is and just keeps looping that I'm like, I have to listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
And I I'm struggling.
That's the point.
Until it's like dick, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he's definitely the most vulgar of the
So
three.
you and I both own Paul's Boutique, right?
Yeah.
Okay, think about the beats on Paul's Boutique,
Sure.
how varied they are.
Yeah.
That's the kind of rap I'm into.
I mean, that's fair. I like that stuff too. I think my thing is I like a very wide array of hip hop.
Sure.
Like I like really original stuff from like the 70s and then all the way into like Run DMC and Tupac and Biggie and stuff like that. And then
And those guys were good because they were just ripping off like soul music.
totally. Yeah. It started off with just samples and soul music
Yeah.
and people like getting drum beats and
The-
record scratching and stuff.
And the Beastie Boys got sued by the Beatles.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then nobody can have samples as much as Paul's Boutique anymore.
Well, now we're talking about my least favorite song.
Gab Man,
Maybe I've heard in a while.
it's probably the worst song on that whole album.
Oh, 100%. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. And I was like, oh, please stop.
It just goes. It just keeps going.
I don't
Man.
disagree. It's the one
And it's 4 minutes. It's
it's
one of the
the-
longest.
Yeah.
I like the rest of it. I just don't like the chorus. And I normally like his choruses, but yeah, I don't like the whole Batman. Into, like,
Having said that,
Batman,
it really made me hate the Batman theme.
Oh yeah, all it did was remind me of how much I hated the original Batman theme
I really
compared
liked the
to
old-
like.
I really like.
There's
the
not
old-
that much rapping on this.
Yeah.
It's mostly Gab Man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really chorus heavy, and the chorus isn't great. I don't disagree. This is like the one track on the whole album that I can skip like every time I'm
And
listening
it's
to
at
it.
the worst spot, too. Because
Yeah.
by the time I got to this song, I was like, I hate this album. By the time I got to this song, I was like,
Track 5 of
I
6.
want this to end.
you-
4 of 6, yeah. And
Oh,
I was
4 of
like,
this? Oh,
because it's like bowling pins, okay.
Yeah.
Don't like the lyrics, but fun.
Sure.
Abominable, I'm like, cheesy. Freedom Form Flowing, I'm like, I don't get it. And then Gabman comes on, I'm like, I want this to end. Because
Fair.
again, it's just so long. And because it's going to this recognizable thing that your brain
Yeah.
tings into, you can't not pay attention.
Yeah.
So it's just like the only thing I hear is Gab Man, Gab Man, Gab Man,
Yeah.
and then not even 2 minutes, 30 seconds later, Gab Man.
Yeah,
I'm like, no.
This is one part that I can like totally 100% agree with you guys on. I don't like this track very much, but that's okay because it's only there's 1 out of 6 ain't
Yeah.
too bad at least for me.
I feel kind of bad because you and I on both of Plouffe's
Yes.
albums
Oh,
in the
that's okay.
same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just found like a certain part of the album to be repulsive in some way or another. Like maybe that's a
that's
strong
fine.
word, but like it's just like one of those things where like
Mhm.
it latched onto you, but
The audience is
Boy.
going to be like,
Oh, I don't mind.
Plouffe's choices are the best. And it's just going to be Jamie and I are out of touch.
maybe I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be-
it's, am I out of
Hashtag
touch?
Plouffe
No,
did nothing
it's
wrong.
the children who are wrong.
Yeah. But
it's fine.
yeah, at this point, I think I was listening with my girlfriend and this song came on. I'm like, I went and checked at this point the track listing, and I was like,
Yeah.
thank God this is not a longer
Almost
album.
over, yeah.
It's not a longer album.
So, that being said, you did like the gentrification song though, kind
Yes,
of at least.
my
Yeah,
favorite
that's
lyrics,
fine. Yeah,
especially as a
sure.
Vancouverite, favorite
Yeah,
lyrics.
yeah.
It's slower.
Yeah.
It was like
It has a
oh.
message that I
Yeah.
can get behind.
It's easy to understand. It really reminds me of like older Tupac stuff.
Sure.
Like
Nas.
yeah, kind of like Nas as well.
Yeah.
I mean more in the like flow and stuff.
Oh,
rather
sure.
than the tone and
Like the-
topic.
yeah,
yeah,
the way he talks, yeah.
it reminds me of keep your head up, kind of. Not like a ton. I don't know. Anyway,
The
But yeah.
face Jamie made.
it's basically him talking about his old neighborhood and how it's gentrified
Yeah.
and how people are moving out, but it's kind of bittersweet at the same time because he recognizes that like there's not a shit ton of crime anymore.
Yeah, it's like
And-
it's hipsters, but is that better? But people aren't dying, but
Yeah.
they also they're not here anymore
Yeah.
regardless.
and where
Yeah.
all the poor people go, like who
Mm-hmm.
knows? They're probably just homeless somewhere.
Yeah.
The music video for that one too is a lot of sepia tone, him either rapping in a warehouse or him like just sepia footage of his neighborhood, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
From back in the day. So
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when I could see like a Chaos or a Mos Def and something like that where it's like it is very relatable. It was
Yeah.
a break. The backing song was really elegant and simple. And
Yeah.
I was like, Okay.
He's rapping
Like,
slower. It's easier to understand what he's saying.
I like this a lot,
Yeah.
and it would be tied with Aspire for my favorite song. I think I like Aspire a little bit more, but
Oh, you like
I
Aspire,
really,
though?
I really like Gentrification song.
I love Aspire. I think Freedom Form Flowing is my favorite, but I like Aspire.
I didn't hate this song. I thought it was pretty good. I like the message behind it, and I thought it was easier to digest than the other songs on the album.
Yeah. It's
Having said that, I don't like the last album or the song on the album either. I don't hate it. I think it's fine, but it didn't do anything for me.
Oh, you didn't like Aspire that much?
It was fine.
For me, Aspire was a kind of a slower, better version of Abominable, where
Sure.
it's more powerful, like raise yourself up, raise up your community. Why
Yeah.
are we fighting amongst each other when we can be fighting 1%ers and like people who are in power and stuff?
I think the album had already lost my attention by the
That's
time
fair.
it came on. Like
And it's so short.
It's yeah. But it's just like one of those things. Like if I had listened to that on my stereo rather
Yeah.
than through my headphones, I probably would have lost the album far sooner because I would have had to have paid much more attention to what was going on. The listening to the headphones at least like drives it into your brain a lot easier. But it was also sort of relentless in like the first half of the album, pacing wise.
Yeah.
And then these two slower songs on the end kind of feel I don't know, like anachronistic maybe, or like like they don't belong.
That's kind of what I was getting at the start, where I feel like the whole thing's a little disjointed.
Yeah,
and it
sure.
feels more like an EP to me, where they're trying to figure out.
It's just a
where
collection
to go
of
with an
tracks.
album.
Yeah,
it's just
like
a
he wrote
collection of
6 tracks. They
Yep.
needed to put them somewhere, so let's put out an EP.
Yeah,
But the title of the EP is kind of unusual as well.
why? Just because it's long? Rejoice, rappers are
No,
rapping
it's
again.
just like
I like the exclamation points as well after Rejoice and at
It's
the end
just-
of the sentence.
yeah.
it's just like, are they though, or is like, did they stop?
I feel like there hasn't, like, this whole style has kind of gone out of style a little
Sure.
bit. It's more of probably just a commentary on like the upcoming mumble rap and stuff.
So
that's
is
been
he
out the
saying
last
like
5
he
years.
is the coming back of it?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, the return
or not
of the
just
Mac.
him, but like
Because like in 2018, I wouldn't say this style of rapping was coming back.
No.
no,
That was like deep in it.
no. I think that he's more just like saying, "Hey, we're back," kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I liked Aspire though. It was a good ending for me. Again, I don't know if it's a good ending for the album. The 45-second intro is whack. I don't like long intros. I added it to a playlist and I removed it because I was like, I don't want to listen to
The intro.
old radio for 45 seconds and then
Yeah.
the song. But it was nice to have the gentrification song beforehand because it's ramped up a little bit, but not a ton. And I loved the aggression of the music, even
Yeah.
though it was all love and change lyrics, where I was like, yes, I love this like passion that you're hearing in the songs. It's just too bad that it was on this album. 'Cause
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
I would have liked it with something that
If
had
it was on
more
a
of that
different
theme,
album. Yeah.
Yeah.
or by somebody different, or whatever that means. But by then I was like, nah, I'm good. But I did really like the aggression. It was punchy. I want to listen hard in the car and like volume up. But
Yes, you'd like to listen to music about murdering people on your way to your very calm 9 to
yes,
5
well, this
job.
song is about not murdering people.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
the opposite.
but
well,
I
maybe
do-
someday.
I do enjoy listening to murder rap.
Yeah, while I go and then post happy things on social media for our job.
For sign business contracts.
I thought
Exactly.
I thought it was a good end to the EP. Like I said, I usually skip the last 2 tracks on the album when I play the record because it's just a remix of
Sure.
the last 2 songs.
They're not on the Spotify,
basically.
so you won't.
Oh, they're not?
No,
No.
they're not there.
Yeah,
so-
one's like a loop mix and one's a full remix. They're both good. Like I find that they're both good remixes, but it's just I've already listened to them.
Yeah.
At this point, so I don't need to listen to more. As for the album itself, it's okay. I like I actually kind of like the cover art. It's super cheesy, but I
Yeah.
like the stupid fireworks and stuff in the background. It's a single LP, obviously, because it's just an EP.
I do like how it tells you that he's from Blackalicious in case you weren't aware
Hell
of who
yeah.
he was. Gift of Gab.
I know.
Blackalicious.
Yeah, nobody knows. Yeah, it's like nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, of course.
I was surprised that Freedom Form Flowing even did as as well as it did with 12 million views.
Yeah.
It might just be because of Afro's growing popularity or just RA's
Virality.
virality. Yeah. But no, I enjoy the package. It's pretty basic. There's one thing I do like on the back is that the lyrics are all like, or not the lyrics, but the track listing is all just centered, simple text.
Yeah.
I hate when you've got to look at the back and you've got to like look at like, here's the thanks to people and here's like the production and all that, and then the track listing is in like some weird artistic orientation or whatever, so it's hard to see what's actually on the album. But there's no inserts or anything like that, and I think I paid about $20 for it.
Ooh.
I'd buy it again. I like this album.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that's a little steep for 6 tracks.
I mean, it's 8. Like it's.
Oh well, it's still a little steep.
Sure.
I would for an EP, I would expect to pay between $10 and $15, perhaps.
Damn.
Yeah.
Stone Cold.
I don't know if I'd pay 10 or 15 for an EP. Like they're still putting the exact same. Like that's the problem with buying EPs is it's still the same amount of material and everything. Like it's the same cost to press it basically. So I understand why the cost is what it is.
12-inch singles cost a lot less, and there are also 12-inch records.
Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, like that. For example, that Peter Gabriel single I have.
Yeah.
Like it was like $7 brand new.
Yeah, fair.
And it is on the one side is just like an extremely wide band version of the one song, and then on the opposite side it's just like 5 remixes of the same song.
Yeah.
But I mean that's like 6 tracks, quote unquote.
Yeah, fair. Mine is color splatter, which is a little nicer. But yeah, I don't know. I'd buy it again. I like this album.
Yeah, what's your final verdict?
Ooh.
What are we doing out of 12 or 13 or whatever?
You choose whatever.
I choose whatever I
I'm
want.
just doing the ranking. I
Hell
give a
yeah.
number just to satisfy Jamie when he looks at me with
Hell
those
yeah.
big blue eyes.
I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. I like it. For me, it's a solid album that I'll actually usually put on, and it's partly because it's so short. I can play it and like it's done, and then play another album instead of sometimes I don't like busting out double LPs because then I've got to like it's just a bit more rigorous when it comes to playing quick records for people who are over. I probably would buy it again. I like it most out of like the 3 albums of him that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Actually 4 now, I guess, because I bought Finding Inspiration somehow after his posthumous release.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little surprised, but I guess not that surprised. I'm just gonna keep picking controversial picks. I'll do the Mars Volta next.
Controversial.
Jamie will hate it.
The Mars Volta.
Jamie, what's your final verdict?
I'm gonna rate it like it's a drill bit, so it's like 21/64ths. Or
So what's something tangible? Since I do the Top Gear, he at least gave it a number. People should know what your level of enjoyment was.
Okay, so out of 13, which is my usual ranking, I'll give it 6.5.
Nice. My final verdict: I like conscious rap. Lyrics on the album didn't do anything for me, and the speed fatigued me immensely. The last 2 songs are great. I don't think I'd pick it up, even if I saw it for cheap. Nah, I'd give it a solid 5 out of 13.
Ooh. Dang.
It would be I have a note saying I'd put it under Future Me Hates Me, which would be above the Now.
Dang.
Oh,
So
no.
I listen while I'm doing
This
all
is not an endorsement of the Now.
It is though, because this is going up below the Now as the worst one we've done so far.
Dang.
I would rather have the Now than this.
Wow.
It got worse when I was listening to it, just going through everything. I was like, I liked Bowling Pins a little bit. I wouldn't listen to it again. I would listen to the Gentrification song. I listened to Aspire again and remembered the 45-second intro and went, I wouldn't listen to that again, which means I'd listen to one of the songs again.
Because the fucking Now is terrible.
Yes, but I would at least listen to some of them on a summer day. I don't think I would ever put on The Gift of Gab. Gift of Gab. Rejoice, rappers are rapping again.
I put it on so many times.
Wow.
It's a very played record.
I don't even want the record because of the art. If I get it, I'm going to be like, here you go, Plouffe, you've got 2 now.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd put it at the bottom
Oof.
of the list.
Cool.
Our oof ranking is strong on this one.
Oof out of...
Ooh.
Nice.
Well,
All right.
next week, we're talking our favorite TV show and movie soundtracks.
Yeah.
It's our first topic that is not... Well, it's our first topic. I guess there's no
Yeah.
no
there's
qualifier
no ifs,
needed.
ands, and buts about that.
So it might be weird, but we're all going to pick an album we want to talk about, share some of our other favorite albums, and let us know what your favorite I don't know if you can comment on a podcast, but if you can,
Do it.
or tweet at
So
us
tweet
at
at
Vinyl
us.
Verdict.
Yeah. Or tweet at one of us.
Yeah, I mean our things are linked in the bio of Vinyl Verdict.
Yeah.
Just don't
Go-
tweet at Plouffe
Don't.
unless
no.
it's positive about this album. He has tears in his eyes.
I
right
don't
now.
have tears in my eyes.
He's got a hand on his Gift of Gab poster.
I don't mind. I don't mind picking albums. Growing up, I never had the same like I was never in the same like mindset as my friends. They'd be going through like a big like pop punk phase, and I'd be listening to metal, and then I'd get into like hip hop, and they'd start listening to metal, and then I'd start getting into like punk, and they'd start listening to hip hop. So I've never gelled except for like a few specific bands like Chili Peppers or like System of a Down or something like that. That was kind of ubiquitous amongst my friend group. So that's fine. I don't mind. I'm pretty used to like, I don't know, not having the same
I'm excited for your next
taste
pick.
as people. Yeah.
I got
Jamie
not-
hates it.
I'm not excited
Jamie
for his
hates
next
it.
pick. I'd rather listen to
Hey, if
the
you think
sound
about
of
the
like,
positive, the Beths actually got better after this week. So that pick,
Hell
bad now.
yeah. It's going up.
Yeah.
They only got up.
yeah, only up
I'm going to
from
listen
here.
to the sounds of rusty chainsaws instead of the Mars Volta.
Well, tune in next week. Bye.
Goodbye.
See ya.